I'm Jessica Vaughn, Chair of the Hillsborough County School Board. I want to welcome you to Hillsborough County Public Schools. We serve more than 200,000 students, including children starting with our early learning programs and continuing with adults through our workforce programs.
I'm Karen Perez, the school board's vice chair. Our district is the 7th largest in America, and our team is made up of 24,000 people working at close to 250 sites across the county. Nuestro distrito es el 7º más grande de los Estados Unidos y el 3º más grande del estado de Florida. Nuestro equipo está formado por 24 millones de personas que trabajan en cerca de 250 escuelas en todo el condado.
Our district is diverse and dedicated. Our board meetings are held in our board auditorium on select Tuesdays at 4 p.m. The best way to serve our students and our community is to involve you, the public, in what we do.
You are welcome to meet or email any of our board members and follow our district on social media. School board meetings are covered live by Hillsborough Schools TV on Spectrum 635 and Frontier Channel 32.
Meetings are also streamed live on our website at hillsboroughschools.org. Closed captioning is provided on all broadcasts, and past meetings are available in our online archive.
We are interested in what the public has to say. We'll include time for audience comments before we address our business items. Our agenda and any supporting materials can be viewed online in advance. They are posted 7 days before each meeting on our website at hillsboroughschools.org.
Our vision is preparing students for life, and that means all students every day. Todos los estudiantes, todos los días. Thank you for your interest in education. With your help, we are making decisions that shape our community's future.
The board meeting of October 28th is now called to order. Member Combs will now lead us in a moment of reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. This afternoon, our hearts are heavy as we reflect on ongoing devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. We hold in our thoughts the residents of Jamaica and all the neighboring islands, wishing them safety and strength in their recovery efforts in the days and weeks to come. Please join me in a moment of reflection. Thank you. Now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Member Combs, will you please acknowledge our student entertainment?
I'd like to thank the Blake High School Chamber Orchestra along with Principal Toby Johnson and Director Jason Gerald. These wonderful students entertained us prior to the start of our board meeting, and at this time I'd like to introduce themselves, and I just want to say that it was beyond incredible. Your talent was amazing. Students, please come up and introduce yourselves.
Dion Batista. I'm a senior at Blake High School and I play viola.
My name is Mateo Valdez. I'm a senior in Blake High School and I play the violin.
Amazing. Hi, my name is Andrea. I am a junior at Blake and I play violin.
My name's Teller Hames. I am a senior at Blake High School and I play viola.
Hi, I'm Ava Curley. I'm a senior at Blake High School and I play violin.
Hello, my name is Luca Flores. I'm a violinist. I'm a junior at Blake High School.
My name is Anna Lucas. I play violin and I'm a senior at Blake High School.
My name is Naheem Martin Merriweather. I'm a junior and I play bass at Blake High.
My name is Jacob. I'm a senior at Blake High School and I play cello.
My name is Fiona Blackburn. I'm a sophomore at Blake High School and I play violin.
Hello, my name is Sasha Hannafin. I'm a double bass player at Blake High School and I'm a sophomore.
Hello, my name is Lillian Grady. I'm a sophomore at Blake High, and I play viola.
Hi, my name is Olivia Haupt. I'm a senior at Blake, and I play viola.
Hi, my name is Delaney Kane. I'm a senior at Blake and I play cello.
Hi, my name is Anika Das. I'm a senior at Blake and I play violin.
Hi, my name is Clement Williams. I play the cello and I'm a sophomore at Blake High School.
Hi, my name is Allie Guerra. I'm a senior at Blake High School and I play the cello.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jason Gerald, and I also play viola. And I am serving as the orchestra director for 23 years now at Blake High School. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, that's awesome.
It really doesn't seem that long, and that's just a testament to your incredible support as a board and these amazing fine musicians. This is truly a treasure that we have in our county, and I thank you for your incredible support. Thank you again for having us today.
And parents, please come up if you want to take any pictures. Yay. All right, you guys were amazing. I'll see you guys December 11th or 12th. I don't know which one, but I'm going for sure. We should go.
Yeah, I am going.
Yeah, let's go. It's an evening.
Oh, it's an evening.
I think so. They play for Christmas. I'll be there. We gotta play. We're so.
Board members, I need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. I have a motion by Member Combs and a second by Member Gray. Any discussions? Seeing none, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Let the record reflect that all board members are present with the exception of Chair Vaughn and Member Hahn. We have two sets of minutes to be approved today: October 7, 2025 School Board Workshop and October 14, 2025 School Board Meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes. I have a motion by Member Gray and a second by Member Combs. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Board members, I would like to go over the format of today's meeting. As a reminder, we are a nonpartisan board who believe all children can be empowered to learn, to succeed, and our decisions will be made with that understanding. To pave a way for efficient agenda statements and questions, board members will have 5 minutes to speak with 30 seconds for final thoughts. Afterwards, the superintendent can respond. If you have further questions, you are asked to get back in the queue. Member Combs will now read the board guidelines.
As we begin this afternoon's meeting, please allow me to quickly review the format of our school board meetings. Please silence all electronic devices. There are speakers in the room behind me that allow board members to hear the meeting upon stepping away from the dais. This meeting can be viewed with closed captioning on live webcast, on cable TV, and on video monitors here in the auditorium. It can also be viewed with closed captioning in the online video archive.
We do have one item scheduled for time certain, and that's 6 p.m. for employee and student input. The board welcomes comments from citizens and values your input to the board. In order to provide the most comprehensive response to your comments, our staff will follow up with you and will keep our board informed about the responses. Our school board respects the public right to speak to the board, and we appreciate you taking your time to be here. You have the right to speak about any issues you like, and you will not be interrupted. However, any behavior intended to interrupt the orderly conduct of this meeting will not be allowed. We do request that you try to focus on the issues. When addressing the board, please state your name and speak clearly into the microphone. This afternoon, each speaker will have 3 minutes. Reminder that your 3 minutes start when you begin speaking. When there are 30 seconds left, you will see a yellow light on the lectern and hear a chime. The red light and the chime will indicate when your time is up. I will now call up the first 5 speakers. The first speaker.
Hello, my name is Sue Batiglieri, and I'm a parent of 2 children at Dobie Elementary in the Waterset community of Apollo Beach. I'm here today on behalf of parents and families advocating to expand Dobie Elementary into a K-8 school. My husband and I have lived in Apollo Beach for 11 years. We built our home in Waterset because we love the community, a safe place where kids can ride their bikes and play with friends after school. We wanted to raise our children in a connected neighborhood where families look out for one another. At the time, we didn't know much about the schools, only that we were excited to grow our family in a promising area. Fast forward to today, our daughter is in 2nd grade at Dobie, and our son has just started kindergarten. We realized charter schools aren't the right fit for our children, and for the last 3 years, we've applied to York Magnet without success. And like many parents, we're running out of options. My husband has said that if Dobie doesn't expand, he wants to move, and that breaks my heart. Our kids have friends right on our street. They play together after school. My in-laws live nearby and help care for them. These are priceless things, the sense of belonging and safety that we may have to sacrifice because our zoned middle school Eisenhower. Over the past decade, new charter and magnet schools have shaped parent perception, and families here are anxious about what comes next after Dobie. Parents are transferring to K-8s, homeschooling, charter, and moving away. Our community has come together in an incredible way. We've gathered over 1,100 signed petitions and completed 2 community surveys representing nearly 500 parents and residents who support the expansion. In the most recent survey of 260 respondents, about half were Dobie parents, 16% York, 12% private, 8% charter, and 3% homeschool. Most families juggle multiple schools and long commutes. 80% of charter, 80% of private, and about half of the homeschool families said they'd return to Dobie if it became a K-8. That's a clear message. Families want to stay in the community and in our public schools. Most parents continue to hold a negative perception of Eisenhower, and that's a reality we can't ignore. We all hope Eisenhower improves because we want what's best for everybody. But until those changes take hold and parent perception improves, families will continue to look elsewhere, and the district will keep losing students and funding. Our area is growing quickly. We have the need, the passion, and the commitment to support Dobie K-8. Please consider our cause. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Alex Montoya, and I'm a proud parent and resident of Apollo Beach. When I chose to move here, I was planning for the future, for my family, and for my children's education. Apollo Beach has grown into a strong, family-centered community, and Dobie Elementary is at the heart of it. As the child of immigrants, I know firsthand the power of education to change lives. It's the foundation my parents worked tirelessly to give me, and it's what I want to pass on to my children. When I first visited Dobie, I felt the same hope for my son. I saw students returning from summer break, running up to their teachers with hugs and laughter, and those teachers remembered every single name. That moment said everything. This is a place where children are truly known and cared for, and that's the connection that every parent wants for their child. But as our kids reach middle school, families like mine are being forced to look outside the community, not because we want to, but because the current options simply aren't good enough. We're racing against the clock. To make sure that our children can continue learning and thriving right here in Apollo Beach. That's why expanding Dobie to a K-8 isn't just important, it's essential. It's not just about convenience, it's about giving families a reason to stay, keeping children in an environment where they feel safe and supported and inspired to grow. Thank you for your time and consideration in expanding Dobie to a K-8 school.
Thank you. Could speakers 6 through 10 come up?
Good afternoon. My name is Shantae Davis. I come to you as a grandparent in the Waterset community. We moved to Waterset 12 years ago with the intention of retiring. When my grandson was 4 years old, we were gifted him. So we were quickly thrown into full-time grandparenting, not having a clue what the school systems were set up around. We didn't have to worry about that when we built our home. But when we had to find pre-K, we had to find daycare and pre-K and school for our grandson, we were so thankful to come across Dobie Elementary. Dobie held our hand as we fast-tracked 30 some odd years to what education or what to the elementary education system was, what was required, and worked really well with us. From the day we started with that school, we had the interaction, we had the communication, we had everything we needed for our grandson, but at the same time, he, who was a very shy child, was very comfortable at that school. He would high-five his teachers as he walked through the gates in the morning. This grandson did not want school breaks. He didn't want school holidays, the summer breaks, because he would miss his teachers. His kindergarten teacher was wonderful, but that was just a sample of what we would have for the next 5 years. He graduated from Dobie Elementary 3 years ago, but we chose not to use the middle schools. We checked private schools. We knew we weren't going to use the middle school that we were zoned for, which is Eisenhower. We now homeschool him. So as a full-time grandparent and a previous educator, now I'm educating in the middle school because I do his homeschooling every day. I cannot tell you how much I wished that Dobie would have gone to K through 8. On our last day there, I begged Mr. Fuller. I said, if you can get this to a K through 8, we will be back in the very next year. It was that important to us. And it is my sincere hope that going forward, Dobie can be expanded because in the neighborhood in which we live, we are growing exponentially. Our children we want our children to grow up together, to educate together. And I really enjoy the time watching a child that is from birth coming through our neighborhood. Now she is 6 years old. I've known that little girl there's a little girl sitting back here. I've known her since she was 1 week old. There are other children at the same. We've attended birthday parties. We've attended dance recitals. This is the community that I would want to see in this late part of the 2000s. So it is my sincere hope that you will consider and that we will be allowed to expand Dobie for all of our children for generations to come. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello, my name is Juan Hernandez, and I've lived in Tampa my entire life. Moved to the South Shore region 2010. I'm a proud dad to my wonderful fifth grader daughter, Jaya, and an exceptional son, Tristan, who's in kindergarten. Currently, Jaya goes to a Montessori private school and has her entire elementary education. And my son goes to public school at Core Elementary. While that might be a little uncommon, we felt this was the best approach for their different educational needs. I myself am a product of both a faith-based private institution and public schools in Tampa. My daughter, Jaya, has thrived in her environment, which has nurtured her creativity, while Tristan, who has been diagnosed with autism at age 2, has required some additional support, which the public school system has been prepared and adept to go ahead and provide even before he reached kindergarten. Being that I have kids in different school systems, I've been able to talk to a lot of different parents in the South Shore region from all kinds of backgrounds with very different thoughts. But the one common theme between all these parents in my area that's a shared concern is what to do with our children once they age out of elementary schools in our area. Unfortunately, the local middle school, Eisenhower, does not have a stellar reputation in the community. The community, by and large, has shared concerns about its academic performance and student safety. This has driven the majority of the community to look for other options with very limited private school options in the area. The most frequent option is applying for the choice lottery program at York Magnet. Unfortunately, the demand for this is much greater than their capacity and has become such a focal point for parents in the area that they simply apply for the elementary age kids before they even need a middle school because they fear not being able to go ahead and get their kids into a school that they feel comfortable. With the rapidly growing population in the South Shore region, this is only going to be exacerbated as we continue to grow. The recent expansion of Apollo Beach Elementary to K-8 helps address the issue, but there are still loads of parents that have the same concerns with their kids at Apollo Beach just because it is still choice as well. Dobie's been a shining example of a school in the community well before the population growth. The families and the community feel strongly about its ability to expand to K-8 and succeed because of the leadership and faculty there in place. The expansion would give more people in the area the peace of mind that their children have proper accessibility to a safe space to focus on becoming the best versions of themselves. Let me be clear. This is not a desire that's specific to Dobie parents. I'm going to reiterate that my children are both in private school and public school, neither of them named Dobie. I'm here because myself and many other parents in the area want the public school options in our area to improve. Parents, like myself, can only work with the options in front of us, and given the current state of things, if there isn't a public school I feel comfortable sending my daughter to available, then I will be one of those parents in the growing list who opts for homeschooling because I did not believe the county was meeting the needs of our growing community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Ann DeMaio, and I'm a Hillsborough County resident and a concerned citizen. I would like to express my opinion on the Schools of Hope rule that allows them to take over our public schools that have scored below C rating for 3 of the last 5 years or are under-enrolled. In fact, parents of the Sarasota schools stated, quote, "The idea that a Miami-based charter chain could claim space inside our high-performing public schools, schools that have helped Sarasota earn an A rating for more than 2 decades, is preposterous. It tramples on parents' rights, undermines local control, and is already causing real harm to students, parents, and communities," unquote. When public schools are not provided with enough funds to secure adequate teaching staff or proper supplies, the students will underperform. Then you take away portions of their school and give them to Schools of Hope charter schools who may not even be part of the community. Our public schools then have to share their cafeteria, provide food for the charter school students, pay for their maintenance, janitorial service, and more. In the meantime, the charter schools are already receiving money for each of their students with no accountability. This will not help our public school children through no fault of their own. They are literally getting thrown under the bus. When their spaces are taken away from them and given to literal strangers, how do you think they'll feel? How do you think they'll react? This ruling is a cancer that will grow, choking out the local public schools. We need your support to fight against this takeover. If it is allowed, the local citizens or the school board will have no say. Our children will be left behind, and the taxpayers will continue to foot the bill. Thank you for your time and attention to this serious matter.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon, School Board Superintendent and panel. My name is Tina Williams Brewster, and I reside in Hillsborough County. Today I'm going to come before you. Is anyone here that could talk to me afterwards or later on about the Focus portal? I do know that whoever was in charge of that has been vacant for 6 months. So someone who is responsible for that. We have students being marked absent, and they're not absent. There's still some glitches. Once again, we have a new system, still working out the glitches. When is Hillsborough County Public Schools going to start spending the money on an adequate system that addresses the largeness and the adequacy and the duality and the complexity of our students? Stop borrowing from other school districts that do not mirror us, do not have the same issues that we have. I challenge the board members the next time another organization comes in town toting that they're great for Hillsborough County, we need to take a better look at that. My daughter has been marked absent or tardy, and she's a dual enrollment. She's going to school for fun. She's a straight A student. I've gone to the school, nothing. And this is another thing. You all are really not listening to parents. You don't see parents as a partnership. Parents are not giving you their trash. We're giving you our best students. That A that Gaither High School has, I'm proud to say that's part of my child. She has come a long way, but Gaither didn't provide a safe environment. I fought for her. So I'm asking Hillsborough County Public Schools, fight for our children. Let's get a system that is made and tailor-made for us. Stop wasting money that we already are losing because of the charter school situation, that if people really understood how that goes, they have to vote for those charter schools. It's the law. Do your homework. You guys come up here and you bitch and moan about stuff that doesn't matter. But where are you in the trenches when the students are not getting needs taken care of, when the guidance counselors aren't doing their jobs, when principals, Spoto High School's getting arrested because they're failing to provide safety for the students? Let's get real. Mr. Ayers, I'm going to challenge you again. When are you going to start holding these principals accountable? Not how many times, how many years you've been in the sandbox together. There needs to be a sweep. Just because you're a principal, just because your school has an A, does not mean you're great. Everybody can use improvement. Let's get on board.
Thank you. Next speaker.
I'm Rachel Doyle. I'm a parent of 2 in your schools. Since the last meeting, I got some really interesting messages from our superintendent's former students saying they're not surprised at the environment that you've cultivated as the superintendent. Got a really wild message after I talked about how our resident county Moms for Liberty people are not public schools parents, and then I was warned that I might get threats from her family. I got a message about the misleading interview that you guys did about the scope of the book removals. Just another great month as an actual HCPS parent. Like somebody just said, our voices mean nothing. But let's talk about an actual issue that my kid's facing. While my oldest is reading above his grade level, no thanks to you. My kid, my youngest kid, is one of your students who's struggling with reading. He was 30 points. He was at 30 points in August, and lucky for him, he has a high-quality teacher who uses evidence-based methods and is very communicative with me as a parent. We've developed a plan, and we are seeing results through these evidence-based decisions that we're making and through parental involvement, and his score went up 20 points in just 2 months. If you notice, I didn't want or need involvement from non-public schools parents in order to make that happen. I know, what a wild, amazing opportunity for them to mind their own business, and they took it, but not with library books, right? And you guys allow that. In fact, you encourage it. That goes out the window when we start talking about library books. We have standards and methods and individual and parent involvement regarding reading scores, but not anymore with library books. Mr. Ayers, you forced the entire school system to remove transmission by Alex Birdie over a tweet. The book was removed because you employ a bigot who I complained about. Nothing was done. And they got the attention of another bigot who just happens to be the commissioner for education, who you bend over backwards for. I have to assume that if the day comes when another tweet comes that asks you to remove a book like It Feels Good to Be Yourself, or this book, Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, which contains no obscenity but is about a trans kid, I have to assume that you'll remove this too. Not because of an evidence-based decision, but just because you were asked to on Twitter. You've made us no better than Clay County, who also banned this because it's about a trans kid. That's embarrassing to be as bad as Clay County. On the theme of decisions made with no evidence, your media specialists are telling me in private that they are removing books not because they think they violate any Florida law, but because they don't think that you specifically will back them up when the Commissioner for Education comes knocking. So they're removing specifically, if you need an example, Dear Martin. My kids are doing better in spite of you. You govern not based on evidence, but based on the whims of bigots, and you use my parental rights in education as a talking point in conversations that you ironically would prefer that I do not participate in. You've given us parents less and less say, specifically the parents who work for you who have trans kids in the education system. They feel like they have no say. And when I try to talk to my district member, I don't get a phone call back. I think that this is pathetic. You get no credit for my kids' reading score improvement. Nobody here gets that credit but me.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Alan Brewster, board member, superintendent. Today, me and my wife, we have regular business meetings at McDonald's down the street from Gaither High School. And as we were having our business meeting, there were several kids in that McDonald's at 10 a.m. 10 a.m., right? And there was a counselor that was in there, and he called a couple of the kids out, was like, hey, you know you should be in school, right? You should be in school. And this is not the first occurrence. It's a reoccurrence. And what I don't understand is how if a kid doesn't go to first period, second period, or third period, but then they sign in fourth period, how come there's no one questioning them? Why are you signing in fourth period? This is ongoing. Ongoing. I said it at the last board meeting. The level of expectation needs to be higher. It's too low. That's why these students do what they do. The fact that you can think that you could go to McDonald's and sit there and lollygag with your friends and then say, oh, okay, it's time to go to school at 10:30. Where is the level of expectation? Who is mandating the level of expectations? Because the students are making it on their own. They're telling the adults, the principals, the teachers, the standard. And that's backwards. Like I said, when I went to school in high school, you couldn't go to McDonald's. You couldn't go to the mall between the hours of 7:30 to 3:30. They didn't allow it. Why are these businesses in that area allowing these students to be in their establishment from 8:30 to 3:30? Why? Because the schools don't have no partnership with these businesses. There's no clear understanding education is a high priority. Not your dollars, the dollars that you're receiving from these students. Where is the high standard in this school district? It's not there. It's really not. And you see it on a regular basis. I work for Hart. My coworker told me the students at Chamberlain, they're unruly on that bus. They're unruly. Where is the standard?
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello. Hello, I'm Cindy Richards, a Hillsborough County Public School parent. Thank you for the opportunity to speak again today. My family's lifestyle was very isolated, and I read a lot of books as a child. My favorites were the classics. Classic literature like Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre, To Kill a Mockingbird, Diary of Anne Frank, The Hobbit, etc. They were my friends and my refuge. Later, newer books like A Child Called It, Angela's Ashes, Kite Runner, and others helped me identify, seek therapy, and come to terms with the abuses I survived. I was that child that you described, Member Rendon. The child alone in a corner. I wish I had had books to help me identify and understand the types of challenges too big for me alone. A book you may view as porn may actually help a child like me feel less afraid and isolated, gain the confidence to report abuse, and facilitate positive change. If hard words in a book make you feel uncomfortable and you can't imagine a child being exposed to that, maybe that's a good thing for you. But those words describe hard truths and can be a lifeline to some children. School libraries are a safe place and often only the only window to the outside world for an abused child. Educated and aware children are more equipped to protect themselves from predators and much more likely to report abuse. Ignorance makes them vulnerable. That, in my book, is vulgar. Please maintain local control. Keep pushing back against state and federal overreach. Efforts like state control of book banning, yes, that's what it is. Reject the governor's new Schools of Hope rule. It's an attempt to hijack our schools for profit. Don't let them remove the expertise and integrity of the superintendent position. This position should remain transparent, appointed by, and accountable to you, the board. Keep working toward holding all of our schools accountable, including all charters. Protect our children and our community with the asset of an educated constituency. Please do not allow our children to become targets of profiteering and abuse. I truly appreciate the challenges you're facing. I see you listening to the community, and I sincerely appreciate your hard work, dedication to our children, and the representation of your community. I'm seeing more and more from you lately. Thanks. Keep fighting for us. Your community needs you, and we stand behind you. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have speakers 11 through 15 line up? Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard Stokes. I'm a resident of Hillsborough County. I'm also a retired teacher in Florida. I'm also a retired teacher from the state of Maryland. I've been a 40-year teacher. The last 35 years were special ed or ESC that you call it here in Florida. And my big subject here is the elimination of the certification for students with disabilities when they graduate high school. To me, that's really like a gut punch for these students, because I can see it in their eyes when they do something good in class and I give them props for doing well. Imagine, and you may imagine this because some of you have been to graduations where you spoke at my school. I worked at Cabinetti, which is a special ed center, and some of you have been there for the graduations. You've been giving those certificates to my students. Now you won't be giving that to them. And their families, the students, they're going to feel like, why did I go to school for 13 years and you're not going to give me anything for it except a report card every, 4 times a year you get a report card? That's not enough. They have peers they can see getting a diploma, and what are they going to get? What are they going to get? Can you work with our community and speak to the State Board of Education and say, can you please let students get some type of recognition and some kind of honor for going to school and working hard, and make their families be proud of them? They're going to be proud of them anyway, but they'd be even more proud if they see their student, their child, their grandchild. I'm a grandparent, by the way. See them get a reward for going to school and working hard. And I think everyone likes to see some kind of reward for working hard. Thank you for listening to me. I'm not going to keep going on and stuff. One thing I heard you talking about banning books. You need to tell Tallahassee, please stop doing this. Let students, don't let one person decide what every student in that whole county can watch or see. And one other thing I did also as a teacher, you may have heard of Measured Progress. You ever heard of that company? They made the testing for special ed students. I was part of that. And I was really proud of flying. Actually, I had to fly up to Tallahassee and sit in the board meeting with them. And it was one of the honors of my life to do that. And why make up tests now if they're not going to receive any kind of reward for taking a test? I don't want to go on and on. Like I said, thank you for listening to me. I hope you do something to tell these parents and students what they can do in the future that they can be proud of and have something to show for it. Thank you again.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, my name is Tamara Perez, and I represent the now 3,200 members of Project ABA Rights. We first spoke out at a board meeting back in July 2023. We have since been in closed-door meetings with the district for the last 2 years, working to ensure that students with disabilities in Hillsborough County Public Schools have access to high quality and ethical private therapies. I want to first thank you all for your continued guidance and support. These meetings have been extremely positive and collaborative. A special thanks to Tracy Brown, Shannon Lesbrance, and the rest of the team. We've come a far way, and I think the whole team can agree that we are proud of the work that has been done. With that being said, we do still have some work to do and find ourselves at a stalemate on a few items. Number one, parents are still required to sign a discriminatory indemnification. Only parents with special needs are required to sign under duress, or therapy for their child will be denied or removed. Number two, this year, Hillsborough County Public Schools has updated their PIP policy and will now deny autistic students ABA therapy, even with a medical diagnosis and even with a 504 plan. The district states they will now only approve ABA for students with an approved IEP. I could understand the district taking this stance if you were going to provide and pay for these services, but you don't. Parents gift this therapy to schools for free in a district that is underserved, underfunded, and understaffed, especially in ESE departments. The statute does not state that an IEP is required. Denying this potentially life-changing therapy is not a state requirement, but a choice. I can't think of any good reason as to why you would choose to deny therapy to our children with disabilities. I hope that you can appreciate just how difficult it is to ask this many special needs parents to show up in the middle of a workday, many of whom wanted to be here but couldn't. It is not easy to find childcare for children with high support needs. So we come before you today to share our experiences, express our concerns, and to ask the board to write the official school board policy that was promised to us years ago. With a policy in place, we can eliminate the inconsistencies across your 230 school sites and ensure equal access to education for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon, board. My name is Stephanie Noble. I'm a Hillsborough County resident. If I get emotional, please understand I lost my son who had autism in a tragic accident on July 6th of 2023. That loss and the challenges I've faced since are what keep me fighting for children like him and for my daughter who still needs support today. I've been advocating for my children for years, but I've had to pull them from public school more than once, just to make sure they could receive their medically necessary ABA therapy. Most recently, my daughter was enrolled at Hammond Elementary. Despite reaching out months in advance to coordinate support, things fell apart right before the school year started. At our first PIP meeting, I was told they'd consider more behavioral support, but later we were told no, even though her data clearly showed she needed it. We tried again at Claywell Elementary, hoping for a better outcome. At first, the principal seemed supportive, but after speaking with Hammond's principal, that changed. I was told maybe this isn't the right school for her. That was devastating to hear as a mother trying to do everything right for their child. My daughter does well with structure and routine. She loves school. But without ABA support, she struggles. And when untrained staff try to manage her behaviors, it can make things worse instead of better. I'm asking this board to please look closely at how much power individual principals have to block ABA support. These are medical needs, not optional ones. We need a consistent district policy that allows ABA therapy in schools so families like mine don't have to keep pulling our children out just to get them what they need to succeed. Thank you for your time and for considering how we can make our schools more inclusive and supportive for every child.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Stacy Mallon. I am a former English teacher in the district, and a parent of a 3-year-old little boy with autism who may one day attend our local Hillsborough Public School. I'm here today as a member of Project ABA Rights with one critical ask, that HCPS write and adopt a clear district policy affirming every family's right to access private instructional personnel, including ABA, speech and occupational therapy in schools, as guaranteed under Florida Statute 1003.572. This is an appeal for our students with disabilities to have the support they are legally entitled to and the opportunities they deserve without delay, confusion, or barriers. In asking for your support on this issue, I'd like you to consider a new perspective. The question shouldn't be, why should we adopt this district policy, but rather, why wouldn't we create a uniform policy for this? The fact of the matter is, allowing private therapists in all schools, is a win-win. It's a win for the students, and it's a win for the district. In a perfect world, our school system would be able to provide all students needing support services with the proper amount of time and attention to foster growth and skill building. But the reality is we need help. The solution is a uniform policy allowing private therapy across all campuses. Have you ever seen ABA professionals that work with a student? They're amazing. And think of the impact a therapist who knows just what a student needs can have by freeing up a potentially overburdened teacher, because we know teachers do a lot, to focus on running a classroom. Besides that though, whatever hesitancies you may have about this, I guarantee you there is an answer. And there's a lot of people here today willing to help. Let's make this happen. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. My name is Luz Barbie. You can call me Lucy. And I am a board-certified behavior analyst, and I've been working in the field for about 12 years. Pardon my accent, and I'm going to try to be as clear as possible. I'm here because I have a proposal. First, I want to start talking about what ABA is, because we're talking about ABA and some people may be like, what does that even mean? So ABA stands for Applied Behavior Analysis. It is a science-based approach that helps children learn new skills and reduce challenging behaviors by understanding the why behaviors happen and how to support the positive change. When a child is diagnosed with ASD, autism spectrum disorder, many Florida health insurance will cover the ABA services to some extent. So, as an ABA provider, I've seen how powerful it can be when schools staff in a school and ABA teams collaborate. Many schools have embraced this partnership, and since the ABA Project RISE started, I have seen tremendous progress. However, I also have seen that the level of collaboration can look very different from a school to school. Some schools are amazing, and we're just like, we want to put all the kids in that school, but it's impossible, right? In some cases, access to medical necessary ABA services is very limited, even when the child needs clearly are there. So one of the most common barriers that I'm seeing and we're facing is when a school decides, or the principal decides, to reduce ABA time by disregarding our recommendation, our clinical medical necessity for the child, because the reason is this. They already have a one-on-one in the classroom. There is an aide. You don't need us here. And it's like, I cannot, in a PEEP collaboration meeting, educate you about what ABA. I believe a school should already know our role. What is the point that we're like? I feel like some of those meetings are really like pulling teeth. It's a discussion between like, what are you gonna be here negotiating? Okay, oh, I'll bring the teacher so you know I'm not lying. Like it's kind of silly. All right, I'm not generalizing, but so let's see the difference. A school para helps the child stay safe, following routines and activities. and they do and know the structure very well. ABA providers, we implement base intervention strategies to help the child succeed, to reduce those behaviors and systematically make changes in their environment so we promote independence. I propose that you guys think about an initiative to educate the schools. I'll do it for free. You contact me, Luz Barbie, and I will do it. Please.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, my name's Nicole. I have an 8-year-old who is on the spectrum for autism. This past summer when his paperwork was submitted, it was denied immediately after he's been receiving services since kindergarten at Cleveland. And the reason why we went to Seminole is because they agreed to do ABA. We started with ABA in kindergarten, or we started with ABA in 2nd grade at Seminole without a 504, without an IEP, because he does not qualify, because test-wise, he looks great on paper. This school year, they said no, and when he went to class, Mr. Alex, his ABA therapist, wasn't allowed to come in, and the teacher proceeds to put him out the classroom when he starts having those issues. We recently got it completed and approved yesterday because it should have never been taken away. But for my child to not want to go to school is very much anxious and overwhelmed because he actually needs the therapist in the classroom, and the therapist is only, or he's actually on campus from the start of his day until the end. It's crazy because he's in the school. So I just really would like for you guys just to have a policy so that children don't have to go through that, because emotionally that's not good. So thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Gianni Hunt. I am the parent of 3 Hillsborough County students. I'm a proud advocate for public schools. And I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to speak, and I want to thank the parents, all the parents that are here today, especially the ones, if you have to bring your kids here, thank you so much. And the ABA team who are advocating for our students, thank you. Today I want to speak on something. I read the 220 plus pages of the financial report. My brain is a little mush, but I did it. I got through it. And I want to address the following disconnect between the school board's financial decisions and its responsibility to our public schools. There are 51 charter schools currently sponsored by the district. These charter schools are legally separate entities. According to your financial report, charters are listed in separate columns, governed under separate jurisdictions, and audited independently. They are not part of our system when it comes to accountability, yet they are treated as so when it comes to funding. According to the latest posted financial report, charter schools expenditure increased by 13%, while public schools increased by less than 4%. All the while, our support staff struggle to earn a living wage, and our Title I schools face enrollment declines. We continue to approve new charter pipelines and feeder agreements without public impact analysis. Now I also want to touch on the Schools of Hope. This policy that allows charter operators to bypass local board approval and set up shop in struggling schools. These schools are often under-resourced because of systemic neglect, not the educators or not the students. This is not a failure on the individuals there. These Schools of Hope, they actually don't offer hope. What it's offering is an extraction. It drains students, staff, and funding from the very schools that need the most investment. These are the schools that need the most support. If charter schools are legally separate, why are they allowed to commingle with our publicly funded schools? Why are we subsidizing their growth while our own schools are asked to do more with less? You had parents speaking here today about, and they were asking to invest more in public schools. Dobie Elementary is a prime example. Parents are looking for a solution within the public schools. I urge this board to require equity audits before approving new charters or feeder agreements, to push back against Schools of Hope expansion and demand local control, and prioritize sustainable investment in the public schools and staff that remain under your current control. You know what? We can't afford to fund both systems, and we know that one of them is accountable to the public and the other one is not. So I urge you to make the correct decision here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We will now move on to the consent agenda. Superintendent Ayers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, members of the board, just for the sake of transparency, I just want to confirm that all items on the consent agenda have been thoroughly reviewed with each board member by staff, and all questions raised were addressed, and any requested clarifications have been provided.
Thank you, Superintendent Ayers. I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. I have a motion by Member Combs and a second by Member Washington. Please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. The consent agenda has been approved. I will now call on Superintendent Ayers to highlight our administrative appointments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Board members, we had one principal appointment on the consent agenda today. I just want to take a moment to highlight that, and there is his picture. And I want to say also it's great to see so many of the Collins family and teachers that are out here in support of Mr. Smiley. Mr. Ron Smiley, why don't you come on up, stand up, and come to the center here. Mr. Ron Smiley, the new principal of Collins K-8. And board members, just about Mr. Smiley a little bit. Mr. Smiley began his career in Hillsborough County in 1999, part-time in the ESC department at Bing Elementary. From 99 to 2000, he served as an itinerant VE teacher at Claremont and Bing. 2000, he then taught VE students at Bing Elementary exclusively. Beginning in 2007, he served as an ESC specialist in Area 5 and 8. I didn't know that. And in 2010, Mr. Smiley was appointed AP, assistant principal at Kingswood Elementary. He then transferred to Dobie Elementary in 2014 as assistant principal. And in 2018, Mr. Smiley was appointed assistant principal at Collins K-8, where he is currently serving. Until now, our new principal at Collins K-8, Mr. Ron Smiley. Mr. Smiley, congratulations. Congratulations, Mr. Smiley. Again, great to see so many other Collins teachers out here in support. I do have, with that announcement, the reason we have the new principal of Collins K-8 is because we do have a retiring principal from Collins K-8. And Rebecca, if you could please come down, please. So excellent opportunity for Mr. Smiley, but I think everyone on this board know the impact that Rebecca Sargable has had on this school district. So just a little bit about Rebecca. She began her career in Hillsborough County Public Schools teaching at Sulphur Springs and Boyette Springs Elementary, 1996. She was appointed to AP at Roosevelt Elementary in 2008. And in 2012, she was appointed principal at Lanier Elementary. And that's where I got to know Rebecca real well. We were both principals together in Area 1, got to know Rebecca very, very well. And then in 2015, Ms. Sargable was appointed principal at Collins. So 2015, principal at Collins, where her exceptional leadership guided the school through its transition to a K campus. And this is now year 3. And I know that was, quite the transition moving from Collins Elementary to, don't you give Mr. Farkas a dirty look there. I saw that. That's good. Saw that. Other things about Rebecca too, interesting enough, she was our Hillsborough County's first Conn Fellows cohort in 2018. So we talk about our fellows that we've had. It's been a big part of our district since 2018, and she now serves as a Conn advisor to additional members following the program's completion. Her vision and dedication have inspired countless educators and students, creating a legacy that will be cherished for years to come. And Rebecca, congratulations on your retirement. You'll be missed greatly. Madam Chair, that's the one appointment. Thank you.
I don't know if anyone wants to go to celebrations and exit the room, but I'll give you a couple of minutes to do so. And congratulations again. The following items will now be heard: C 601, C 711, C 7.13, and C 10.01. C.01, budget amendments for the period September 1st, 2025, ending September 30th, 2025. Danielle Shotwell, General Manager, Budget, will highlight this item.
I hit the microphone first. Good evening. I am here today to present the September budget amendments. As a reminder, in September 9th, we were able to adopt the final budget for fiscal year 26. There it is. And that was approved by this board on September 9th. Throughout the year, we will do 10 budget amendments. And doing those budget amendments is so that we can reflect any adjustments in the budget based on anticipated revenues and expenditures within each fund. Currently, I am showing, which we have all gone over, but the general fund, remember, this is the September budget amendment. So from September 9th to September 30th is obviously only 3 weeks. There is not significant change in the general fund in that time. In fact, the budget itself has been unchanged. Where we did make an adjustment is within the fund itself, where we did move something to where it is actually hitting the fund, which would be for food services for our referendum. All referendum payments are coming out of the general fund. When we look at this here, this shows where it is being moved from the 5,000 function down to food services. We will continue to do that each month because food services does not pay for the referendum payments. That comes out of the general fund. Looking at our actuals at this time of year, we do know that at this time of year, our expenditures outpace our revenue. And that's important to make note of because that is due to our local property taxes that have not started coming in yet. That is anticipated, it's expected at this time of year. So because of that, you do see a net change in the general fund balance, but that is due to us paying out the referendum to start the year, which we started paying out July 1st before those funds are coming in. But we knew that that was the right thing to do for employees and we were in a position to do so. And in addition, the local property taxes, they mainly will start coming in near the end of November with the bulk of it coming in December and January where that will catch up. And that is the synopsis of our budget amendments for September. If there's any questions from the board?
Okay. I need a motion and a second to approve item C601. I have a motion by Member Gray and a second by Member Washington. Member Gray, you pulled this item. Do you have any questions or comments?
Thank you, Member Perez. And thank you, Ms. Shotwell. I do have a question. You did explain the 7% now we're down to on the fund balance. And what I wanted to know, isn't there also a variable that includes the rationale that we have also paid for the instructional expenditure because we gave the teachers and the administrators a raise? Is that part of the reason why the decline is to be seen in the fund balance?
For the September budget amendment, that won't be evident. That will be evident when we build in raises to the budget because those raises were not effective until this October. So when we do the October budget amendment, you will see that potentially hitting the budget. It's mostly because of the referendum being paid starting July, but not having any of that revenue in yet. So that is the main reason that you see it, as well as the cash flow at this time of year. Even before the referendum, we always had a lower cash flow at this time of year. So you will always see us dip more into our available cash in order to be able to, pay our employees appropriately until that local property tax revenue comes in, starting in November and mostly December and January.
Well, and thank you for that reply. I do have a question about software, and perhaps, Mr. Geddes, that you're sitting there, you can answer it. when we talk about the fluidity of students, which is equal to our FTE revenue, from charter schools back to public schools, from public schools to homeschool, and keeping track of these students, and do we have the software to really to make sure that we're talking about fund balance, and thank you, Ms. Shotwell, but this is a situation where the fund balance can be impacted per month, possibly. So I just wanted to get your take on, the amount of software that we have to really do this with full fidelity. And I'm talking FTE, I'm talking staffing, and, those kinds of ways of work that we see a lot of financial adjustments.
Yes, Member Gray. I would say that what we're seeing so far with Focus coming in on board as compared to Synergy last year, our numbers are much more accurate. I think looking at Survey 2, going through the adjustments right now, we're at about 99% accuracy as compared to where we were sitting last year with with Synergy. So I would say that the software is performing much better than we had previously, and we're going to be able to maximize our FTE budgeting with that software moving forward year to year.
I mean, that's great news. Superintendent Van Ayers, we're talking 99% accuracy?
99% accuracy so far, and then we're working on the last few errors that are coming through thus far from the state. So
yeah, and I will say, Member Gray, and the Focus team working with Mr. Geddes' team through this whole FTE process has been phenomenal. The amount of updates in our team Focus working with them, and we'll continue to provide those updates. But it's been very remarkable to see from where we've come in 1 year's time to where we are right now with our FTE reporting. So very proud of our team and Focus and on that collaboration.
Oh, that's great news, and thank you for your good work, Mr. Geddes, and thank you, Ms. Shotwell. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Rendon?
Thank you, Member Perez. I want to make a comment regarding the budget and when we talk about the charter schools and the 51 charter schools and how their expenditures were different than ours. They receive the same FTE that we do. They choose to use their expenditures differently than we do. So at the end of the day, I would 100% agree with you, and I've said on the dais that we as a district need to look at how we spend our expenditures, and are we focusing on our schools or are we focusing on other departments that charter schools don't have? And so I think that needs to be made sure. When it comes to Schools of Hope, when it comes to checking and monitoring where students go and so forth, I encourage that individuals in this audience that have a concern or an issue of that, highly, highly recommend that you contact the individuals within our district, within the state, that are making those decisions. Because here in this district, and I will speak for myself, we want to make sure that we take care of the students that are in Hillsborough County. We believe we provide the best education in Hillsborough County that we can provide, and we want to do that. And so when it comes to the budget, I'm 100% behind you that I think there are ways in which we should always be looking at making sure that we're providing our schools with the resources and the needs they individually have. And I think that's an ongoing process that we're trying to work with. I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for other board members, but I'm sure they would be in agreement that they're always looking for ways to improve each and every one of our schools because we believe we have the best schools that we're working with. So make sure when we're looking at the budget and those areas are defined differently, it's not because they receive different money. It's when their budget, they're choosing to spend it differently than we do. So we all get the same reimbursement as they do. So it's just a choice option. When it comes to our fund balance, thank you so much for keeping us abreast of that. We understand that we're going to dip below the 3% until we are able to catch back up when we receive the revenue and the referendum payments. Thank you very much for keeping that on board. I do think there's room to grow and there's room for us to improve, and I'm thankful that you're sitting there because we do need to look better at, although we're gaining our attendance better, we still need to have a better system in which we're able to reconcile what we bill and what we bring in. It is a constant need that I think our district needs to improve on, and I'm thankful that our IT department is working directly with our accounting department to make sure that happens the best way they can, because we need to make sure that that's a non-flawed system so that we're able to maximize our income to make the best decisions we can. So thank you for working hard on doing that.
Thank you, Member Rendon. Member Combs?
Yes, thank you. I also want to say, thank you, Member Rendon.
making everyone aware this funding is the same. I think the results are very different. There are some very high quality charter schools, but overall, there are a lot of charter schools that are definitely less adequate overall. And you can look at that because there's a lack of oversight. Also, you can have non-certified teachers, just like last week we saw somebody who, was running a school for 20 years that had no education background, administration background. You can't find a single school in our 236 schools that you're going to find that. And also all that initial funding that you receive from charter schools and all that land money where you're getting money paid, like the last time where you see somebody being a landlord and paying someone $12,000. So I would tend to disagree with you that we do have there's some great charter schools, but overall, if you compare them to our public schools, our schools are exceeding by far. I can look in my area and look at what Victory Charter School closed in the middle of the year, did not let anybody know. They had no opportunity, and all the schools around there were A's. So as much as I appreciate you talking about the positivity, I think that I would choose our public schools anytime with the funding. And I think our results from what we have and what we're getting from the results and how we're spending our money, having board members overseeing it and having a large group of people, there's a great deal of oversight with large public schools compared to the lack of oversight with some of these charter schools is definitely factual. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Combs. Seeing no further discussion, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. The next item is 7.11, 2025-2026 District Educational Facilities Plan. Superintendent Ayers will highlight this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Board members, you're very familiar with this item as you see this every year, twice a year. Florida Statute 1013.35 requires the school board to annually adopt a district facilities plan, also known as a 5-year work plan outlining facility needs over 5, 10, and 20 years. The plan covers projected revenues, enrollment growth, construction projects, renovations, class size impacts, and the use of modulars, all aligned with local comprehensive plans. The tentative plan was approved by the board on July 29th, 2025, and found consistent with all comprehensive plans by the Planning Commission on September the 8th. With diversified funding from sales tax, millage, the community investment tax, and impact fees, the plan supports the district's ability to expand capacity and address long-term student population needs. Madam Chair, that is 711.
Thank you. I need a motion and a second to approve item C711. I have a motion by Member Rendon and a second by Member Combs. Member Rendon, you pulled this item.
Thank you, Madam Perez. Yes, so over the course of the last 2 months, many things have come to light here in this district. We've had many changes. We've had many letters that have been sent to the district on proposed changes that they would like to make within our state, in the state of Florida, including 24 different schools here in the Hillsborough County. With that in mind, this plan was not addressed, this plan was not looked at, this plan was not changed in any sort of way to address those changing needs. Also, this plan does not take into consideration the East County Plant City area for potential elementary and middle school. I would also say that based upon conversations I've had with the finance department on numerous occasions and asked over the past 5 months and now been determined at the inability to provide, then when we're looking at what does it cost to put a student in one of our schools, whether it's a magnet school, whether it's in one of our traditional schools, what is that cost per child, and how are we making decisions to maximize the growth that we can have in a school and still be able to utilize that money in other avenues where it's needed, whether it's curriculum, sports, or what have you. We have no basis of understanding that. So therefore, we have no basis of knowing, is it worth it to add on a wing when we have no guarantee of enrollment, where we're potentially putting up another area for another school to come in and take over? Is it more beneficial to look at Waimama in a middle school and an elementary and make it a K-8 based upon the fact we can completely enroll it when we open it? Those are the things that are answers and questions we don't have answers to right now, that I believe it's irresponsible for us to approve a plan without many of those questions being asked. We have no idea the legal guidelines right now on whether Schools of Hope have the legal ability just to walk in at any point in time, whether we agree. How are we identifying truly what's needed in a school? Can we have staffing there that doesn't take up for that? We don't have a lot of questions answered to be able to approve such a plan about what we're going to do in the next 5 years. The fact that this was never amended or changed after such a large event happening in the last month, I can't approve it without having so many open-ended questions of saying that this is the right movement for our district. And once this is approved, is that the direction of our district? Is it going to come back and say, I know that people have said, well, it's only a plan. But then I've also had people say, oh, we're doing this because that's what you agreed upon on a plan. I can't agree on something without looking at all the factors. Look at the financial gains. Looking if we're leaving, will we leave a wing open? Listen, when it comes to Alonzo, I feel very strongly that they needed a culinary program, which I believe this is what that expansion was going to do. But yet when we have Schools of Hope as being a possible threat to a school that does not fully go to capacity, I would like to know what that looks like, and are we going to be able to absorb it? Or because I don't fill with 300 more students, are they going to come in and take over that culinary program? They want to come in and take over a science lab and an auditorium. I want to make sure that whatever we're going to do and plan to do is going to be safe for this district, and it's going to go right to the students in our district and the needs of our district. And so right now, I don't believe those questions have been answered. And without those questions being answered and truly looking at all the possible needs in this district, I can't support this at this time. There's just too many changes with too many unanswered questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Rendon. Member Gray?
And I appreciate, thank you, Member Perez, those comments and remarks, but also, what now? Member Perez. Oh, I'm sorry. Member Perez. So the problem when we use the word we, I feel very confident as I've seen plans put before me for the last 8 years. I'm not doubting. So I would like to be on record to at least do not put we, because that's not, I'm not agreeing with those statements. That's what I wanted to say for the record. Thank you.
And just for the record, if I could just kind of to state, so for the other board members on this particular item, this educational facilities plan is Florida statute that it's adopted annually, and there's two parts to it. It starts on July with the pre, then Mr. Farkas and his team sends it out to the local municipalities for their so they can review and then approve it, and then it comes back to the board. So that happens annually by Florida statute. I do want to add the Schools of Hope. Of course, we're looking at that, but know that this law was passed June 30th, and then we just got board rule on that on September 24th. So this is, as Member Rendon mentioned, this is a plan. Nothing is approved until it comes before this board as part of a GMP. But thank you, Ms. Rendon. I hear you. So,
if there's no further questions or comments, please vote when your lights are here. And it passes with Member Rendon descending from the vote. The next item is item 7.13, increase in expenditures for invitation to bid, water and waste treatment facility services. Superintendent Van Aers will highlight this item.
thank you, Madam Chair. Some of these items come before, and so you learn something. And this one, in this case, so this one is our water and wastewater treatment facility. So we currently, our schools, we provide well water. That's 11 schools. This provides certified sampling services for the district's wastewater and portable water plant stations, as required by Florida statutes, to help district staff with sampling, testing, minor repairs, and certification process as required by the state. And again, this item is for the 11 schools that require, or their water is through the well and not city water in our district.
Thank you, Superintendent. I need a motion and a second to approve item C 7.13. I have a motion by Member Rendon and a second by Member Combs. Member Combs, you pulled this item. Do you have any questions or comments?
Yes, thank you, Member Perez. I always pull an item when I see, and Mr. Farkas, we talked about this, in 2022, it was a $32,000 cost, and now it's $360,000. And I always like to comment when you see our increase in expenditure in the State Board of Education, less than $50 per child. where there's less and less funding, and you're seeing a huge increase in a lot of our contracts. And I know you explained to me why that increase was, and if you could just reiterate it, I'd appreciate it, or expand it.
You bet. I appreciate the question. As we have 11 sites, as Mr. Ayers found out today, that we provide the water for, there's a certification. You have to go through a whole process for that. And as I've worked with Dr. Patton, the reality is we don't pay as much as the other water testing facilities and certified people pay. Therefore, we've had open positions that are there. So it would be a lot less expensive for us to do it, and that's why the increased cost. It's not that the number of tests have gone up or anything like that. It's just we're paying someone from the outside to do those tests. So we're glad that Dr. Patton and HR department's actually brought in to do some studies, salary studies around some of our positions. This is a perfect example of one that we need to take out and look at paying our own people more money rather than paying a vendor. In the meantime, though, we have to pay someone. We have to test. There's laws that we have to do about making sure that we have clean water and wastewater that goes out there. So your question is right. It's gone up. But unfortunately, it's not because of anything other than the fact that we have to pay an outside vendor to do it because we do not have enough certified people in-house to do that.
Okay, and so hopefully we can, find those key jobs and make sure that we do as much as we can in-house. I was talking to someone about another contract the other day. As much as we can do in-house, we're the 7th largest district in the country. I mean, we have the largest number of employees, and I feel like as much as we can do in-house, as I said, I have a business mind, so for me, I'm advocating for Hillsborough County Public Schools. The more we can do in-house, the less we can rely on outside vendors, the better. So hopefully we can move towards that on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Combs. Member Rendon?
Thank you, Member Perez. And Mr. Farkas, I apologize I wasn't able to ask you this question earlier, but we have 11 sites that are on wells in many areas, especially some of these are on there. There's been some urban core expansion on some of the water lines. Is there a benefit of staying on wells compared to tapping into those water lines? Do we have any that we can at this point? Like, where do we lay on that?
A wonderful question. So my staff would love to get on city water.
We're close.
So there is
county.
Absolutely no benefit. I shouldn't say that. In my opinion, there's not a big benefit of us staying on wells. We would much rather tap in and do that. So as the USA, the urban service area expands, if it's anywhere, any of our sites, because it's random, it's Strawberry Crest and Bailey, and it's Dover, things like that. But if there's an opportunity for us to tie into city water or sewer, we will do it every time. Because as you see with the cost, it makes more money, because that's just the cost of inspection. There's still a cost for the equipment, maintaining the equipment, and things like that. So it's beneficial to the district for us to tie in, even if there's an upfront capital cost, to do that for a long term, because the maintenance on that goes down tremendously. So it's a great question. So any opportunity we have, even if we have to tunnel a little bit and pay that, you will see us bring that to the board to tie in.
Okay, so is there any of them that we're getting close to? Because I know with the expansion, I know there's some that are getting closer in East County in particular, and we've got a lot of these that are in East County. So are we getting close to any of them?
Yes, it just
county water.
Great question. It depends on where they start, where the county starts, because they've now labeled them as urban service areas. So then when are they going to start actually putting the pipe in, putting the water in, and then we'll tie into what that looks like. A lot of the places that we have bought and haven't built on, Bishop Road and places like that, in the southeast part of the county, would have been on wells, are now going to be on city water and save us money. That's why Morgan, as you know better than anyone, was a big issue for us, because the water getting there was one of the last things that actually went through. So to answer your
County
question,
water.
yes, exactly. County water.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Rendon. I'm curious to find out, how often do they come out to inspect the water, test the water? Because I know after tropical storms or hurricanes, or when the schools are closed for the summer, or even during the holidays, sometimes the water not moving through the pipes and things like that, it could cause some issues. So how often for this price amount do we, and I know you just said to inspect the equipment, that's a lot for inspection of equipment, but do they test these waters for that our babies are drinking?
It's another good question. You guys are asking really good ones. So it's not just what's required by state. We actually do it on the time that we have it. So when we're out for 2 weeks for Christmas, or when we're out for summer, things like that, we make sure the testing coincides at the beginning of school, because exactly what you said, sediment builds up on that part of it too. It's why we run the water first and then go back and test it afterwards to make sure that it's through the line. So I'll get you the actual numbers of tests per year. I don't know that off the top of my head, but it's a good question, because we ensure that our testing people back to Ms. Combs' question, it's a lot easier to have it as our own people because we can send them out whenever we want as opposed to paying for it. But we go out and send them out for the times we need it, after the Thanksgiving break, after Christmas break, after the spring break, and then the summer break as well, in addition to the normal testing.
And do you do it like right after a hurricane or after a tropical storm? Because, stuff gets, pushed through with water and.
It does. The benefit of us being on our own is we don't have as big an issue with that. That stuff happens in the city and county, and water's a lot more than it happens with wells, because we inspect those and know that if there was any breach or anything like that, if there is, we have a process to go through with bottled water until we get it tested in that part too during hurricanes. But that is the one advantage of with a well. You're not tied into the city system, so if a main breaks or anything like that, none of that affects a well. So we're good on that part. That's the one positive. That may be the only positive.
Thank you.
You bet. Good questions.
Member Gray?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just when I thought you knew just about everything about operations, now you know about wastewater. So here's a question for you that you can't answer. Maybe you can. Did the requirements change for wastewater quality? And with Member Perez's remarks, which were very important, how did we change anything? Was it changed?
There was. So for all the other water that's tested, they moved the change from, we used to test it internally to the city and the counties. Obviously now we have to continue the wells because we don't have the city or the county to test those. So it did change. And then the new push that you're hearing a lot about is forever chemicals, that you'll hear and you'll see articles in the paper, and that was a Temple Terrace. This board, being proactive as they are, already approves the $1.7 million in filter replacement, which takes out about 98% of those forever chemicals. So even if it's coming from the city or the county or our wells, we actually have filters on all of our drinking fountains, all our ice machines that actually take out, and again, not all of them, I don't want to give a false sense of that, but we are in a much better spot than a lot of homes are and a lot of other places in the city are. So we're ahead of the curve on that because this board approved the filter replacement program, which again, it's hard to think of paying $1.7 million for water filters, but that's why y'all pay for it, so we can take out those forever chemicals.
Well, it's really good for our parents and grandparents to know about this. So thank you very much, Mr. Farkas. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Gray. And seeing no further comments or questions, please vote. Oh, Member Washington. Member Washington has a question.
Yeah. I can't let you get away, Mr. Farkas.
It's a good question.
Mr. Farkas got some answers now. I'm telling you, he's pretty good. How often do we test the water? The wells.
So that was a great question. I'll get you all the exact numbers. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that we
What?
You won that one.
Oh.
Thanks, Shake. I appreciate that. No,
No, I'm just teasing. Yeah.
No, but to Mr. Ayers' point, it is neat to learn that kind of stuff and the different parts that go into our system. We're in such an eclectic system that we've got city and county and rural areas that it's neat to learn that part of it too. But I promise you, my guys are at home probably killing me about, why don't you know that? It just means I've been in this position too long.
You're good, Mr. Farkas. You really are. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Member Washington. You won the Cupid all tonight for the hardest question. Yeah, the stump. Seeing no further questions or comments, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Next item is 10.101. New renewal and an increase in expenditures for subscription software licenses and services from Infor US Incorporate.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, board members, again, you're familiar with this, and this is our ERP system, which is Infor. And this agenda item serves to renew our ERP solution that the district employs for managing payroll, employee benefits, human capital management, and financial application. The annual cost has risen by 15% due to a 7% price increase and an 8% increase associated with acquiring additional licenses necessary to support our current workforce, which comprises full-time, part-time, and other employment categories. The subscription encompasses the essential cloud-based infrastructure required to operate and support these applications, including production and test and training environments. Leveraging cloud services mitigates the district risks and reduces maintenance costs by providing operations and monitoring across various geographical locations with specialized expertise. That is item 1001, and our Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Mike Geddes, is here if you have any additional questions regarding our ERP system, Infor.
Thank you, Superintendent Ayers. I need a motion and a second to approve item C 1001. I have a motion by Member Gray and a second by Member Washington. Member Gray, you pulled this item. Do you have any questions or comments?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And actually, they were answered during the 601 Finance. Mr. Geddes, thank you for this. If you would like to give any further explanation or, insight into this particular item, feel free.
Thank you, Member Gray. I think the only thing I'd like to mention is the commitment, as you said, between finance, myself, and HR, really trying to push this software to its maximum potential. We have a group going, trying to leverage it to its full capacity, making sure that we're being really diligent about using the software and making sure that we're getting everything we need out of it and that we're not leaving anything on the table. So, we do have kind of that communication platform going back and forth between us, really trying to make sure that we're doing best by the board and the district.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Gray. See no further current questions or comments. If you vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. We will now go to employee and student comment. I think we got some folks up there. We will now take employee and student input. Even though we hear from the public comment at the beginning of the meeting, it's sometimes difficult for employees and students of our district to attend meetings at 4 p.m. There are many ways for employees and students to make their voices heard, including through union representatives, emails, phone calls, one-on-one conversations, and public comment at the beginning of the meeting. The board wants to hear from you. With this section of our agenda, we are creating another avenue for employees and students to speak to the board. We are setting aside 30 minutes for employees and the district to speak to the board about any issues that are on your mind. It is not intended to be a discussion about specific agenda items on tonight's agenda, but rather an opportunity for you to speak to the board about any issues related to your job or district. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. I will now call the first 3 speakers. Anyone? Oh, our buddy Rob.
It is your buddy Rob. Hey everyone, Rob from CTA. I was going to defer to the students first, but I think they're kind of huddling up and figuring it out. But hey everyone, Rob Crete, CTA. First of all, I just want to punctuate a point I've made the past few times I'm here, that the taxpayers of Hillsborough County are getting a great deal for the work that the employees are doing at our public schools. Every single morning I'm getting up and I'm at a different school every day, and I just want to call out, like I was at Thompson Elementary this morning, I was at Eisenhower Middle School yesterday, I was at a slew of schools the week before and the week before that. There are such amazing things going on out there, and I think that we should all really be proud of that great work. From the bus drivers to the lunchroom workers to the custodians and, of course, the teachers and support staff. There truly are amazing things going on out there. It is the season to be thankful, so we should absolutely be clear that we're thankful that we have all of them. We're also very thankful for you guys as board members, and we talked a little bit about the fund balance, and I've spoken at length about the fund balance from this spot many times over the years, but we are very, very appreciative of the work that we were able to collaborate on for the millage referendum and your willingness to kind of front that money for the employees. While I'm out there every single day at these sites, it's super clear to me how that has had a deep impact on these employees' ability to navigate the tough times that we're dealing with. I mean, inflation, just issues that we've had in the state, the lack of funding, and that millage money coming to them at this time, and you guys being so clear and making sure that they're getting it from the very beginning has been deeply impactful to all of them. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, and we're really happy to work with you and continue our collaboration. And thank you, Mrs. Superintendent. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon, Superintendent, school board members. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Frank Reyes. I am an educator here in Hillsborough County, Egypt Lake Eagles, go Eagles. But I'm here as a Florida PTA student empowerment chair. We are doing a monthly ask, and that is for our students across the state on our committee to come to a school board meeting to get a chance to see how things work. Tell them, hey, these are the decision makers. These are the people who are making the choices for you every day. I had a couple more students. They had to leave. We had scheduling issues, and we had a couple students who couldn't make it. We have 18 altogether on our committee for the state of Florida, from Escambia all the way down to Miami-Dade. We're very excited for what we're doing this year and all the work that we're doing. I'm excited because these students are learning to advocate for themselves. They're learning to speak their mind. They're learning to share their thoughts and their wants and their needs in the county, in their schools, and in their communities. I have two here that are excited to talk. Hopefully, they know that they have 3 minutes, right? 3? Okay. So, but thank you very much for what you each do each and every day. I know it's a tough job sitting up here and listening, but we're very thankful for you, and I'm very thankful for everybody here and for all the students. Ms. Farkas, good seeing you again. Thank you, and enjoy our students.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Ziza Wadi. I am a part of Martinez Middle School, and I'm in the 8th grade.
Hi, I'm Mila Ruhe, and I'm also part of Martinez Middle School, and I'm in 7th grade.
I want to take a moment to thank Hillsborough County for all that they do. Your hard work, care, and dedication, and to keep our community strong and growing, from our schools, parks, to our safety and support services. You make a real difference every single day. We appreciate everything that you do to make Hillsborough County a better place for all of us. We thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good job.
Awesome. Okay. And now, let me see. We will move on to superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as part of my superintendent's comments this evening, we'll also be providing a suspended agenda update. We talked about it last meeting around PM1, so Mr. Brady and his team will be providing that suspended agenda update shortly. But to begin, I want to first note that on October 16th, I was joined by Member Rendon, Member Hahn, district leaders and community partners. We gathered at Hillsborough High School for the NOPE of Hillsborough's annual Candlelight Vigil. Now in its 13th year, the community event honors the lives lost to substance-related deaths and provides support, resources, and education to survivor. And just some important notes there. Since 2012, NOPE Hillsborough has presented to over 157,000 students and 3,700 students this year already. Along with their annual vigil, they also hold monthly support groups for those who have lost a loved one. And to date, they have provided over 79,000 in scholarships to our high school seniors. All of this great work with a team of volunteers. I just want to thank all of it. And I know board members, you're all familiar with the NOPE admitted presentations. The vigil was outstanding, and thanks to the team at NOPE for what they do for our schools all year long, providing presentations to our high school and middle school students. And on October 15th, I joined members of our team to present in front of the Florida Senate Education Pre-K-12 Committee on Artificial Intelligence in Education. And Mr. Brady, I want to thank you and your team. Mr. Brady was there, Dr. Kate White, Chris Holt, Michael Lewis, and Kristen Davis, and a special thank you to Member Rendon, who was also in attendance there. As technology continues to evolve, our district remains committed to preparing students to the world of tomorrow and embracing innovation as a powerful tool for learning, creativity, and success. We're proud to be leading the way for our students. And with exceptional talent in our strategic plan, I have this great announcement. Ours truly, Ms. Shay McCray. Congratulations. So our Deputy Superintendent Shay McCray for being recognized at last week's Council of Great City Schools Conference. Ms. McCray was selected as one of 11 senior level education administrators from across the country to participate in the third cohort of the Michael Casserly Urban Executive Leadership Institute for Superintendents. Congratulations again, Shay. I know this entire board, our team, very proud of you and lucky to have you as part of Hillsborough County. So congratulations. Yeah. And got notified yesterday. I'm just going to let Mr. Farkas do this one. He's very excited about his Energy Star rated school. So I don't want to say too much and take his thunder. He'll get mad. So go ahead, Mr. Farkas.
Yes, angry. No, we're excited to highlight it. So we talk a lot about conservation and sustainability, what we do. We're a huge footprint. We have 29 million square feet that we are responsible for, and y'all are responsible for in Hillsborough County. We have a lot to do as educators, and we have a lot of passionate students and a lot of passionate kids, and that's who's responsible for this. So to be an Energy Star school, you have to use 35% less energy than what you originally started with, but you're basically spending 50 cents per square foot is what you're asking for, 54 to be exact. And they're spending less than that, and that's 100 schools. So we're almost halfway there. Our partners with Generate and McKinstry are the ones that are kind of guiding it. And then Andrea Stengoni, who's in our growth management department, is leading the way and having meetings, volunteering her own time to kind of lead it. And we have Green Star sponsors at each one of those schools, again, volunteering their time because it's something they feel passionate about. So having 100 Energy Star schools when 4 years ago we had 0 is a very important kind of roadmap for what we have for all the schools to get there, and we're going to push for all schools to get there. But it impacts us. As you guys know, the TEGO bill is paid through General Part 1 funds. And so anytime that we're being more smart, more energy conscious, not only are we saving the planet and the carbon footprint, but more importantly, we're also spending less money on our TECO bill. So for a lot of reasons, we're very proud. We hit that 100 schools today, and so I'm glad to appreciate Mr. Ayers, you putting us in that comment. We're going to keep pushing, and you'll see some more recognitions as we get through it. But 100 schools as of this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Farkas, for that update. And also just a couple more updates. Don't forget to submit your designs for the Hillsborough Reads Bookmark Contest. Help our students get caught reading by creating a colorful and engaging bookmark that celebrates our district-wide literacy initiative. Educators and students in all grade levels can design a bookmark for a chance to have their artwork professionally printed and shared across the district. Entries are due to your school's art teacher by this Friday, October 31st, with winners announced in December. And finally, another opportunity reminder around our school choice and magnet application window. I do have some stats to share as well. It opened last Monday, as we all know. We'll close on December 7th. We held our first expo for students and families to explore our magnet schools and choice programs at Jefferson on October the 20th. So since we opened the application window, we had 7,938 applicants for our magnet programs, which is a 61% increase from last year to this year. So just, really great numbers there on our magnet schools and our families going on and applying for our magnet and choice options. We also have 3 more expos scheduled before the window closes, so make sure to take advantage of these events to find the best educational fit for your child. And finally, building your future college and career nights. Mark your calendar for our Spanish language college and career night at Leto High School on November 5th from 6 to 8. Students and their families can get assistance on graduation requirements, college and technical school options, military opportunities, scholarship and financial aid, and career planning, and sessions are completely in Spanish. And those are our Building Your Future College and Career Nights, and it's at Leto as the first one here, November 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. And for our suspended agenda updates, as I mentioned last board meeting, I do want to update the board and the community on our PM1 reading updates and where we stand for our progress monitoring through the state. And I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Brady and his team.
Thank you, Superintendent Ayers and board members. Good evening, and thank you for allowing me and this academic services team to an overview of our progress monitoring 1 results. The state window for PM1 closed on September 26th, and Friday, October 10th marked the end of the first grading period. This data has been shared at all levels across the district, including at the principals meeting a few weeks ago. All right, this slide illustrates our iReady Reading Diagnostic 1 data for 2024 versus our iReady Diagnostic data from 2025. The combined percent of students, both early and on grade level, as well as at and above grade level, is as follows. Third grade was at 39% in 2024 and 40% at this point in 2025. Fourth grade, 31% in 2024, 34% in 2025. And fifth grade, 32% in 2024 and 36% in 2025. Now, as a reminder, these students are considered to be on target. With continued high quality instruction, our students are expected to reach proficiency by the end of the year. FAST assessments are administered 3 times during the school year. Once at the beginning of the year, we call that PM1, once in the middle, PM2, and once at the end, PM3. Each PM event is tied to a blueprint for full grade level content. So as the school year progresses and students learn the content, the scores will improve. Because this administration occurs at the very beginning of the school year, it is designed to provide a baseline score so teachers can track student progress in learning the best standards from PM1 to PM2 and ultimately PM3. Now, because we're looking at the data through the lens of how are our Hillsborough literacy priorities impacting student results, the following data slides represent the performance of Hillsborough County non-charter students only. Progress monitoring assessments measure end of the year on grade level expectations. This slide illustrates how our students non-charter performed on PM1 last year versus PM1 this year. So when you see 2024, 2025, that refers to last school year, and 25-26 refers to this school year. To correctly interpret this data, look at the number circled in yellow. Click the number 33% informs us that during last year's PM1 window, 33% of our students demonstrated achievement that we would expect of a student at the end of the school year. The number circled in blue informs us that during this year's PM1 window, 34% of our students demonstrated end of year on grade level expectation. So there was a 1% increase on PM1 from last year to this year. And then I'll go down the list for grades 3 through 10. In grade 3, there's a 2% decrease. In grade 4, there's a 3% decrease. In grade 5, there's a 1% increase. Grade 6, 2% increase. Grade 7, 1% increase. Grade 8, 4% increase. Grade 9, 2%. And grade 3% increase. Now, if we look at the student performance by subgroup, you can see that the percentage of students achieving level 3 or higher increased from PM1 last year to PM1 this year in 4 out of 5 of our subgroups. Our black students increased from 20% in fall 24 to 22% in fall 25. Our white students increased from 47 to 48. Our Hispanic students increased from 24 to 26. Our ELL students decreased from 14 to 13. And our students with disabilities increased from 10% to 12%. And again, this is from PM1 2024 to PM1 2025. This slide illustrates growth from Hillsborough County non-charters from fall PM1 to spring PM3 for the prior 24-25 school year. So we added this slide in the next slide to illustrate the growth that is possible and expected over the course of a year from PM1 to PM3 with solid core Tier 1 instruction. Hillsborough County non-charter students started at 33%, achieving a level 3 or higher on fall PM1, and we finished spring PM3, this is last year, with 57% of our students scoring a level 3 or higher. That's an increase of 24%. This speaks to solid core instruction over the course of 180 days. In addition, I'll highlight the growth from PM1 to PM3 last year in specific grade levels. Grade 3 showed an increase of 35% last year from PM1 to PM3. Grade 4, 25. Grade 5, 25. Grade 6, 17. Grade 7, 19. Grade 8, 21. Grade 9, 19. And grade 10, 25. And our last data slide takes a closer look at the subgroup growth from the previous slide, and as you can see, we had some significant proficiency growth from PM1 to PM3 in 2024 in various subgroups. You can see black students increased 22 percentage points, white students 25, Hispanic students 24, ELL students 21, and students with disability 18 percentage points. Although the percentage of students showing proficiency may seem low, this chart shows how much growth our students showed from PM1 to PM3 which is our ultimate accountability measure. So we've consistently discussed systems related to strong core instruction and alignment and teaching to the depth and breadth of the standards. Now, despite our increase in proficiency from PM1 to PM3, we know that our district still needs to close the achievement gap. That's the gap up there, guys. You see? So over the next few slides, we'll show you our literacy priorities, our action steps, our subgroup support, and communication, in short, the systems that will get us there. At this time, I'd like to allow Tracy Bergman, Assistant Superintendent, as well as Sarah Garcia, Executive Director of Elementary School, and Yoli Vasquez, Supervisor of K-5 Literacy, to review our literacy plan, along with specific supports and key actions related to elementary school and our SS subgroups.
Good evening, everyone. So these priorities listed on the slide were identified by the Pre-K-12 literacy team as critical to moving the needle on student performance. Together, they account for us aligning our practices to all aspects of those found within the research embodying the science of reading. First, as you know, we are in year 3 of our YouthFly implementation. We know that our K-2 teachers across the district are all using the program and speak to loving it, but we also recognize the need to tighten the practices in the classroom and focus on the quality of instruction and feedback. Yoli, our elementary supervisor, will speak more specifically to that in just a moment. But early literacy skills are not just in elementary school. They're also prevalent in our secondary schools, specifically in our intensive reading courses where students are engaging daily in the middle school world with Language Live and high school with Language Live, or in some instances, our beta program, Read 180. Next up, we have knowledge building. We know that the reading rope includes 2 portions. It includes foundational skills as well as language comprehension. And that's where knowledge building comes in, understanding the world around us. Let's think about this. Do you guys ever pick up a book and say, gee, today I would love to read chapter 3 for theme. Tomorrow, I'll read chapter 4 for author's purpose. And then on chapter 5, I can summarize? If you operate your book club that way, please don't ever invite me. So we know that's not it. Reading is so important because it gives us a window into the world. The time, the space, the characters and situations that are relevant to our life. We want our focus to be around that as we engage students in Tier 1 instruction, so they see the relevance and excitement a text can hold and use it to connect to other things across content areas. Writing. Writing hasn't been part of the state accountability for several years, but it is still part of our benchmarks, and its impact on literacy cannot be forgotten. But so many times we go into classrooms and see students struggling to put words together in a sentence into a paragraph, and mention the word essay, and the whole class groans. Our emphasis is teaching syntax and language as a part of writing to help build student confidence and keep it connected to what kids read. Be it narratives or opinions, understanding how words work together to communicate ideas is critical, and that is our priority. And lastly, opportunity for all. All students matter, period. And our literacy team has worked tirelessly to ensure a guaranteed and viable quality curricular program. But all students, especially those with language needs, such as our ESE and our ELL students, need to be able to access the materials to engage and deepen their learning. The team is working together with the ESE and ELL teams this year, out of the silos, to make sure that the materials meet the needs of the learners in front of them. We are excited to share some training materials and resources on a future slide. So to bring our actions to life, what are we doing? Well, working hard, that's what. First of all, we are prioritizing professional learning, really thinking of the ways to get to the teacher level. Yoli will share some examples of that in just a moment. But ultimately, our focus is on Tier 1 instruction, using our resources to best meet the needs of our students, combining curriculum training with instructional implementation, and aligning it with our district model of instruction and high-yield instructional practices. Our schools are in the work of developing collaborative teams to support data planning and dives into problem solving into their response to data. But most importantly, talking about instructional practices and refining that quality instructional model at the school level. We want to share data in all contents and make sure that we include our subgroup data so that our schools can monitor the progress and make appropriate decisions. And again, resources. Defining best practices to meet the needs of ELL and ESE students is critical, and is also critical for us to ensure our teachers have access and training to those resources. So let's talk about subgroups, in particular ESE and ELL. I want to say I'm most proud of the collaborative work that we are doing within those departments to support our learners. We recognize that high expectations and quality Tier 1 instruction will move students to new levels, and as the subgroup moves, so does the entire district as a whole, as our district is so diverse. These subgroups are about access. Access in and access out. Materials have to be presented in a way that makes sense to our students, meeting their unique language needs, and our students have to have ways to engage in the content and show their learning, even if they have language gaps. The capabilities of our students is endless, but we need the strategies and professional learning available to our teachers to ensure their implementation. Training for teachers and admins began this summer on providing access and will continue our teacher training in November and January in collaboration with our ESE and ELL teams. We have one-pager resources being developed to support the language needs as well. And in addition, our K-12 academic team is excited to introduce mission vocabulary to support academic language.
Good evening, board members. I am excited to share our elementary literacy initiatives tied to the work that we're doing to build strong readers. The first is our You Fly Strong All Year Long. There's many facets to this initiative, but the major facet has been building up You Fly model classroom teachers. We identified 7 teachers, 1 in each region, and we prepared them and coached them up to be ready to welcome between 25 and 30 teachers, coaches, and administrators into their classroom to let them see You Fly live in action with students. We actually just finished this initiative today, and through this initiative we were able to provide this level of job-embedded professional learning to 165 teachers, administrators, and coaches, and 55 of our sites. They are willing to take that back and dive into the work, which is what we're most excited about. Another initiative we've leaned into is our HCPS UFly Accelerated Scope and Sequence, and this came in response to our iReady Diagnostic 1 data, where we leaned into that phonics domain and noticed that there were some foundational skills deficits in our 3 through 5 students, and we wanted to provide teachers with a structured approach to addressing those skills. So we used the high leverage steps in UFly to design a 3-option intervention support for our intermediate teachers, where they can choose to either intervene 2 times a week, 3 times a week, or every day for 10 minutes, so we could keep the fidelity of the instructional block in 3 through 5, and we have received great feedback on that initiative as well. Our final initiative is Thrive in Third Strategic Support, which was designed in response to the PM1 data that Mr. Brady just shared with you all. And this support is specifically for our 3rd grade teachers. Our message was simple. We know that there's a gap, and we are here to do the work and be in the work with them. And it's been really well received. We provided additional instructional tools for them, but we've also layered in Power Hour, which happens bi-weekly virtually. And what we do in Power Hour is we provide the benchmark breakdown and the text analysis. And through this Power Hour, which launched in October, we've been able to provide support to 300 plus 3rd grade teachers.
Thank you, Yoli, and I'll wrap it up here. I'll briefly cover the supports for secondary, which are like elementary, an emphasis on core Tier 1 instruction, standards-aligned collaborative teams, intentional data usage, and embedded subgroup support. In addition, we are excited to share the implementation of Read 180 in 14 of our 29 high schools this year. On any given day, you can walk into a Read 180 classroom and see students actively practicing foundational literacy skills to develop fluency. A trademark of Read 180 classrooms are the rotational rounds, where you'll see small group teacher-led instruction. And as you know, this is one of the only outcomes-based contracts in the district, and we're eagerly awaiting the first growth assessment in December so we can see the impact that this program is making on our students. And finally, I just wanted to point out that since the beginning of the school year, our team has presented this information to principals, assistant principals, district leaders, region superintendents, the cabinet, and now the school board. Ultimately, it comes down to implementation and execution. We have a saying that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. We do have a plan. More importantly, we have the people to execute the plan. Our district has incredibly talented and dedicated teachers who go above and beyond each day. In addition, our amazing principals and leaders are committed to removing barriers to allow our teachers to thrive. So we're excited for the challenge ahead, which is roughly 130 days remaining of strong instruction where every day counts. The urgency is felt within academic services and across all departments. As always, we appreciate the support and leadership of the school board and Mr. Ayers, and thank you for your time.
And thank you, Madam Chair. Those are our updates.
Thank you, Superintendent Ayers. Now for our board member comments. Board members, you have just a reminder, will have 5 minutes each to speak with 30 seconds for final thoughts. Member Gray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank Tracy Bergman and team. What a wonderful, comprehensive job you did with the reporting and the UFly progress and the science of reading. We are very, very proud, and we are very cognizant of the hard work that you all do. So thank you so much. Also, I want to thank, and I guess Gary Brady at this point is going to be pretty famous, with Superintendent Van Ayers and team for actually making our Hillsborough County Public School District the leading force in AI teaching and learning. So I have the PowerPoint and very excited. So that's what I wanted to say on that. And then, Pablo, if you can put up the, I think it's the PDF. This is the Thurgood Marshall Clubs. And just to give you a background, and Sheikh Washington is also on the African American Task Force. But 3 years ago, we had Fred Hearns and I, we wanted to make sure that we had a club that was emblematic of Black history. So fast forward, Allison Edgecombe just took the place of forming one, but not just one. After 3 years, her leadership is up to 105 schools, which now have a Thurgood Marshall Club. And why is this important? Well, many reasons. Number one, they help instill vigor and enthusiasm and motivation for our Hillsborough County Brain Bowl, HAPSI Brain Bowl. And last year we had 189 schools. Our Black History Month, our AXO team, our Black History Door Poster Contest, and many other relevant initiatives. So great job. And then Allison Edgecombe wanted me to share this. And Pablo, I don't know what happened to it, but it was a breast cancer, there it goes, showing that they are making other items of concern. They're bringing awareness to the student body, and this exemplifies right now, or a few weeks ago, during the Breast Cancer Month at Robinson High School. So great work, Allison Edgecombe. And thank you, Member Washington, for always being part of that committee, or Hillsborough County Task Force Committee. Very, very nicely done. And thank you, Pablo. Next slide. The next slide, no, it's not a slide, it's a photo. And I'm going to wait, because then I have something to refer to. Well, I don't want to wait too long. My minutes will be used up shortly. Pablo, are we there? We're getting there. Okay, so here we are. Both Member Washington, Member Hahn, Member Rendon, and myself, we were honored to hear from Master Sergeant Earl D. Plumley, a Medal of Honor recipient. And of course, this is a wonderful example of civic education, patriotism, and I want to give kudos to the newer principal, fairly new principal, 2 months. What a wonderful organizational situation she put together was Principal Duran of Rogers Middle School. And she organized with the Hillsborough County Sheriff Office, the Riverview High School Band, the cheerleaders, the Rogers Chorus Band, the Buccaneers, and of course our Hillsborough County Public School leadership staff, and so many leaders were there, and it was all for the principles of, and this is a very good civics education. I know Member Combs also, I taught civics, I think you did too. It was all about courage, commitment, integrity, sacrifice, citizenship, and patriotism. And this was just emblematic of showing each of those characteristics of civic duty and civics. Oh, I'm right on time. Thank you, Madam Chair. Done.
Okay, you have 25 seconds.
Still done.
Okay.
I'll give it to someone else.
That's a first. I'm telling you. Okay, in Washington?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. First of all, I want to give kudos to Superintendent, you and your staff for always working hard to make this a better district. You guys really work hard to do the things it takes for students in Hillsborough County, and I want you to know we really appreciate that 100%. Moving on, let's go to the part. Rogers, you got the melon on it. You have that. Okay. We had a great time, like Mrs. Gray said, we had a great time. Like, thank Patty for coming, Ms. Rendon, Mrs. Hahn, and Lynn, and we had a great time because we dealt with situation. It was interesting because we had students up there also, and you talk about the Medal of Honor, which is the greatest honor you could have, and as I sat there listening to him speak about how he survived and the things that he did, how he led people. This guy is truly honored. He's truly what the Medal of Honor is all about. And then we had the kids to speak. And also Batman Woods, the former linebacker for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And he spoke about his determination to be a great player, the things that it takes, the dedication that it takes. And all of that came into play. But the one common thing they had, their determination to succeed. The determination to not be defeated, to work hard, to do the things it takes in order to survive. And that really caught me. I mean, that really touched me a great deal. So we had a great time there. And we also had the MC, which was Colonel Ronald Tucker from Hillsborough County Public Schools there as the MC. Let's move along. The next we have is that's the one, the Community Think Tank. It was phenomenal. It was something different that we never did before in Hillsborough County. And before I get started, I like to thank Alva Simmons for organizing it, Mike Rowan and Rick Graves. You guys did a great job. It was something different that we never had before in Hillsborough County because we had a combination of community along with principals at this think tank. And what we did was we talked about behavior. You know, some of the things that we can do to improve behavior in the school, and we provided everybody the community input. They could input at the tables, and we separated them, and they were at tables together, and they were talking about some of the things that they could do. And what really got me, the things that we can do in the community to help out. That's important. And I told Chief, I told Rick, I said, you know what, we need to take this show on the road. Because it was really, really, really good. It really was. I enjoyed it. I mean, I really did. And all the people there enjoyed it because it was something, like I said, it was something different. And we're looking forward, Mr. Gray, to taking this show on the road now. So we can, go all four corners of Hillsborough County. I think it's good to have that collaboration with the community, with the principals. We had principals there. We had community people there. It was just a collaboration of a lot of people there. Okay, thank you. Let's move on. What's the next one I had? Next. Okay. And then we had the Fall Festival at Mango Elementary School. Thank you, Ms. Renda, for coming. You were there. We had a great time with those kids. They were dressed up and playing games and having fun. And I love the part about the dunk tank, boy. They were trying to really dunk that teacher in the tank. As you can see, that one young lady, I paid for her. It was, $5 for having the balls. I just paid. And you did, too. We both gave money. And you can see there, two on the right, that's the secretary. She works there, and she has a garden. And she said, I said, well, Carol, what you do with your, I mean, what all? She said, we just grow stuff and let some of the teachers and as well as some of the community people come by and take what they want. And it's a nice little garden. It's a lot in there. It's small, but it's very efficient for what we needed, what she needed to do. Boy, this time running real fast. But anyway, we enjoyed and we had a great time, and the principal did a great job there, and we thank her for what she did, Mrs. Duhart. So we'll roll on to the next one now, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Member Washington. Member Combs?
Yes, I first want to thank, Mr. Brady and the entire academic team for coming. I really appreciate this. This is something that I really will look at. And I know it's going to take a couple years for the UFly to really input, and some of the things that we've really done foundationally are going to take a couple years. But I just want to say, you leading the academic services, I've heard nothing but great things. You really listening to your team and getting feedback. And I just want to say thank you. And it's great to have the entire team here. One of the things that I think that we need to do as a board, or maybe as a district, is really kind of push and talk to the Department of Education about that retention in first and second grade. I think third grade, when you look at the complexity of the literacy at that time, if a child is still trying to reach phonic awareness and still sounding out things, to lose a whole year in third grade and then to have another year of retention is like 2 years wasted of a child really not feeling good about themselves. So that's something as a board that we need to talk about and really look at that and see how we can work on that as a district. Also, Superintendent, just, as I talk about Schools of Hope, I appreciate having that on the suspended list. And do you have any updates or anything that's occurring at this time with that?
No updates, just in the information I provided around the school, the state board rule that was provided September 24th. So we'll wait. November 11th is the time which Schools of Hope can send requests out to school districts. So that is the latest that we have on that, is the November 11th date. Schools of Hope will be sending out applications to school districts across the state.
Okay. And thank you, and I appreciate the speakers who are coming on, and I say this all the time, Schools of Hope. Like, what kind of hope are you going to have when there's no oversight, you don't have certified teachers, we're not sure about the administration? We have one school of hope here in Hillsborough County, and that's a D school that just became a C school, and that has had huge turnover with teachers, huge turnover with students, huge turnover with administration. So remember, Schools of Hope, what kind of hope is that for a child? Let's make sure that we're thinking about children and we're not thinking about profit. So let's make sure that we keep pushing and keep making sure that the community knows about that and understands that. And I'm going to keep saying that. What kind of hope is there if there's no certified teachers, if there's no oversight? And as a matter of fact, when I was trying to get data, I can't even get the data now because it's now at a university. It's not even held here locally at the public schools. So I would love for people to do a records request and find out what exactly is happening at our School of Hope here in Hillsborough County. So that's all I'm going to say on that part. And I've had some great school visits, but I want to share a couple things that were really special. One is the Leaders in Action at Sickles High School. Gabriela Borrego started this organization 2 years ago. She had 65 students, and the other day I met with 130 students. I spoke to them about, what do you need to have in order to be a leader? And I said the three important things are resiliency, passion, and then effort. And it was just so great. And I have to thank the teacher, Miss Sullivan, who's sponsoring this, to have all those students. These are all students. Actually, this group came out last year with me and helped redo Caminiti, the agricultural center. So these are just some wonderful students. And it was just a great day. And so I love that. Kind of keeps me going out there, connecting with students, speaking with students. It was just a great experience. And then lastly, I just want to thank our early learning task force team that we've been meeting for a year and a half. That's, Superintendent, you weren't there, you were not there, but so many great district leaders: Tracy Brown, Tracy Bergman, Emily Chimino, Tina Hertz, Veronica Gomez, and Melissa Morgado. There's so many people. And then we have all these great leaders from HEF. We have Dr. Santal Tangelo from Thrive by Five, Dr. Hicks, Rebecca Bacon from the Children's Board, Mr. Crowder from Kahn Memorial, Dustin Crine, Dr. Fudge. We have all these people working together, and of course our communications team, because one of the most important things is early learning, and it's one of the things that is least funded in this state. It's like a couple $1,000s, and it is so important. If we put a little bit more money in early learning, we would have huge outcomes. It is the biggest impact to have these group of leaders working together. Together, we've been able to increase with the communications, the number of slots that have been increased here in Hillsborough County, being able to work together with Tracy Brown and the communications team to make sure we publicize that. Our kindergarten readiness in Hillsborough County is 88%, which is so high. You can imagine what you could do if this would be funded. I mean, it's just amazing with half day, the output that we're having. Our community outreach with ELC, Thrive by Five, and we're really looking at a partnership with HEF to go out to those daycare providers and provide them more support. So it's about working as a team together to really educate this community. So I just want to thank everybody on that team, and we're excited to continue the work. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a happy Halloween.
Thank you, Member Combs. Member Rendon?
Thank you, Board Member Perez. I want to start off with acknowledging Deputy Lawrence Thomas from Shields Middle School. At the Sheriff's Black Community Relations Awards Gala, he was named Deputy of the Year. We cannot say enough about Deputy Lawrence and what he does at Shields Middle School. It is a tremendous job for him to make those relationships with our students and maintain a healthy and safe campus. Not only that, but he, along with all of his other deputies throughout the county, play such a critical role in making sure each and every one of our campuses are safe and there's a relationship with the students. So congratulations to Deputy Thomas. Job well done. I also want to thank Hillsborough County Academic Services for the K through 5 Science Olympics. It was an amazing event that member Perez and I attended. It was so much fun to see the kids and doing different science experiments. I want to thank Safe and Sound for their mock court that was held at the Skills Center. We had the State Attorney's Office, the Public Defender's Office. Many of our judges were there, parents, students, all learning about healthy, safety ways of interacting in our community and avoiding gun tragedy with our students. I want to thank Progress Village for a job well done for Legally Blonde. They did an amazing performance. They performed both Friday and Saturday nights. It was absolutely fantastic. Thank the Florida Orchestra for their performance with over 35 of our elementary schools, really demonstrating and partnershiping with the Florida Ballet and walking through the importance of orchestra and the instruments and how that can just improve student academic achievement and their emotional and mental health. Thank Fishhawk Creek All-Pro Dads, where they had over 150 dads and kids there, really to thrive about doing things in partnership with your kids. I want to thank the McDonald Training Center for giving me an opportunity to come and tour with them and show me opportunities where our ESE students can transition for true certificate programs where they can look for different job opportunities. I want to thank the Brandon Riverview Chamber for having a day of education and coming and spending our day at both Kingswood Elementary School with a panel of educators throughout Hillsborough County and Brandon High School for really seeing exactly what our schools are doing and coming in as community partners with that. I want to thank Representative Valdez for the $1.7 million appropriations for junior achievement that directly work with our students, both in 5th grade and 8th grade, and now through our entrepreneurship programs throughout currently 4, but upcoming next year, 6 of our high schools, really working to show students at those different achievements. I also want to lastly thank Representative Valdez and Representative Driscoll for being first of 2 of our delegation members for actually coming and spending a day in our schools, really sitting in our classrooms, really seeing that academic achievement, what our teachers are doing, what our students are doing, looking at the curriculum and recognizing these great things that our students are doing and our teachers are doing within all of our schools. I look forward to all of our other delegation members visiting all of our schools. They've made a commitment and we're going to hold them to that. It's such a critical part to have them actually sitting in our schools, being in our classrooms. And I want to thank those that have come and look forward to those other ones that are going to be in our schools as we move forward. They make the decisions that affect our students, and they need to see critically what's happening in our schools. So thank you so much for being a part of that. I don't have any pictures, but I'm super excited for all the things that are happening in Hillsborough County. Our teachers, our principals, our district staff are all spending day in and day out making sure our students have a future. And we cannot thank you enough for the community's partnership and support as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Rendon. And I just want to thank my board members because we're constantly just running and, you know, participating with our students and the parents and the teachers in the schools. And, you know, I know we kind of run into each other and do things together, but sometimes we're like in different places of the district doing different things. So I attended the Food for Thought with Betty Barton and Elizabeth Tanner, and that was amazing, and Member Rendon was there with me as well. And also, I went for Diamonds in the Rough. That is our Dr. Frederick, who has served over 5,000 of our students. Dunbar, he has served 300 of the students to improve, and what we've seen is improved grades. Sly Middle, he served more than 80 students in the last 3 years. And Tampa Bay Tech served more than 300 students since its inception. And it's been around in our district for 20 years. So that was an amazing event. But I'm going to tout a little bit about what I've been able to do, board members. So in 2021 and 22, myself and some of our fabulous cabinet, we started a mental health track in Tampa Bay Tech. And since 2021-22, it started off with 22 students, and as today, at the end of this year, we'll have 135 students graduating from the mental health track in Tampa Bay Tech. And what that does is, you know, it empowers our students academically, but it's introducing students to the fundamental principles and skills and careers as far as the mental health futures and career paths, and supporting them with understanding social work, psychology, psychiatry, counseling. And these students also are earning degrees in 3 certifications: teen mental health, registered behavioral technician, and certified medical administrative assistants. And we also engage with several other agencies to support them, like Grace Point, the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, Aspire Help, and many more. And as of tomorrow, I'm going to be sitting with 4 universities to support our students and look at more certifications to get them on a better track into the field of mental health, because our children are dealing with issues like substance abuse, lockdowns, gun violence, teen suicide, bullying, body image, academic pressures, just to name a few. I also want to piggyback on Member Washington's comments. I want to thank Dr. Grays, Alva Simmons, and their teams for your responsiveness. Although I was not there, I heard a lot of chatter in the community. And I want to provide some feedback about this community think tank. I really like the concept and the fact that you included the voices of other divisions at this table, like mental health, yay, and school security, transportation, to have an authentic conversation with principals and the community. Principals were able to tell the stories, and we need more like this. So I hear rumor and gossip that we have like 4 more coming or 3 more coming. Is that true?
They're not planned yet, but yes.
Yes, they're coming. Okay, so now we have that?
They are planned now.
Okay, so now we have that on record. So I'm really excited because it provides the community a better understanding of what's happening and needed in our schools. And our school leaders and students deserve to have any additional support that we can provide. So I want to thank all the community representatives that took time to join arms with the district to support our schools, which included Tampa Bay Community Engagement Department. Thanks. Also, I want to thank Little Caesars and Walmart who supported the food for this event. And otherwise, seeing no further questions or comments from myself or anybody else, this meeting is adjourned.